Hi, my name is Samuel Casso. I'm Charles Northern Professor of History at Trinity College, where I've been teaching since 1972. I've done research in Russian history and in the Jewish history of Eastern Europe. One of my latest projects has been the book, Who Will Write Our History? The Story of Emanuel Ringelblum and the Onyx Shabbos Archive in the Warsaw Ghetto. I feel a certain personal connection to this material. I was born in the DP camp in Germany after the war. My parents come from the Vilna area of Poland and are Holocaust survivors, and I grew up speaking Yiddish. I hope you enjoy this course. You don't have to know much about Jewish history. You don't have to have taken a class, or you don't even have to be Jewish. But if you're curious about history, then hopefully you will find this rewarding. We talk about the origins of the East European Jews. Why did such a small number of Jews in the Middle Ages turn into a community of several millions? Why is it that so many issues in contemporary Jewish history, the state of Israel, Zionism, various kinds of Jewish literature, in what way do they have their roots in Eastern Europe? Giving full recognition to the important role played by non-Ashkenazi Jews, and it's a very important role, I think it's still worthwhile to study the history and the development of Ashkenazi Jewish culture. And so that then leads us to ask, what is Ashkenaz? Ashkenaz is a term. It was never a country. It never really existed. Ashkenaz is a Hebrew word which theoretically refers to a member of Noah's family, a son of Japhet. But like many Hebrew words, it came to have other meanings. And at some point, Ashkenaz referred to those Jews who lived in the area between the northern Rhone Valley and the Rhine River. That area that encompassed Western Germany, central France, perhaps northern Italy, a small number of Jews in a relatively small geographic area who over time were able to develop a unique religious culture, a culture distinguished by particular religious traditions, religious leadership, such as the light unto the diaspora, the great Rabbi Gershom, who banned polygamy, Rabbi Yehuda Chassid, who left a tradition of personal piety and religious study. Rabbi Moses Isserles in Krakow, who appended his own commentary on the Shulchan Aruch, the Code of Jewish Law. Rashi, the great commentator on the Bible and the Talmud. All of these religious authorities gave the Ashkenazi Jews a sense that they had a responsibility to study, to nourish, and to protect this particular religious tradition which they had. Ashkenazi identity was also bound up with the evolving Yiddish language. It was also bound up, as Professor Max Weinreich reminds us, by this whole concept of what was called vertical integration. That is, that Ashkenazi Jews traditionally were involved in an ongoing, unending conversation with other Jews who lived many centuries before. No matter when a text was written, for Ashkenazi Jews, a text was always contemporary. It always involved lernen, learning, study, not just study, but interaction with one's peers, interaction with other holy books, a constant striving to know more, to learn more, to pass the Jewish heritage on to one's children. In time, this religious culture took on new forms. Many of those religious values of study, of introspection, of curiosity, of determination to maintain spiritual values and privilege them over material values. In many cases, this turned into secular loyalties, socialism, a respect for political liberalism, a determination to make the world a better place. These secular movements, too, have made their important mark on Jewish history. And I believe that in some way, they also reflect the important tradition of Ashkenazi Jewry. So some of the issues that we'll be discussing: how did Poland become the world's biggest Jewish center? Perhaps no more than 30,000 Jews in 1500. By 1800, there were 1 million Jews in the former Polish lands. By 1900, many more millions. How did this happen? We'll then talk about Jewish society in Poland, its institutions, its values, what made it what it was. When Poland was partitioned by its neighbors in the 18th century, what was the fate of Polish Jews? What happened to the world's most important Jewish community when it passed under the authority of new rulers? What about such movements as the Jewish Enlightenment, the Haskalah? What explained the amazing spread of this religious revivalism called Hasidism, another important achievement of Ashkenazi Jewish culture? We then talk about engines of change, emigration, new political movements like Zionism and Jewish socialism, the cultural revolution that turned the vernacular language of Ashkenaz, Yiddish, into a medium of literature and high culture. We talk about Hebrew literature and how it affected the success of the Zionist movement. And finally, we talk about the Russian Revolution, the impact of World War I, and sadly, at the very end, the Holocaust. The story of Ashkenaz is not finished. It is with us to this very day. The legacy of Ashkenaz includes the state of Israel. It includes an ongoing search for new ways of nurturing, respecting, and maintaining a Jewish identity. It encourages an ongoing study of the Jewish past. It encourages the asking of more questions about Jewish peoplehood, which affects not just the future of the state of Israel, but the future of Jews all over the world, including here in the United States. Thank you.